Are we live?
Yeah, I do have to check the audio sync really
Okay, let's check the
quick. We are
audio
live.
sync.
You'll have to talk.
Okay. Sometimes when I'm all by myself. Oh.
Nobody wants to know that. Actually, I want to know that.
I don't know that you do, Chris.
Boy, you're right. The color is way off.
It's different. Yeah, I know, right? It doesn't give me the option to change much. So, yeah,
Hmm.
I know. I'll keep playing with it.
I'm going to take a screenshot and then I'll send it to the team.
Well, there's a firmware update.
Okay. I don't need to watch that. I just wanted to see. Michael, you look different this week.
And a much nicer, too.
He's watching. Don't say that shit.
Hey, we are the opposite ends of the feisty spectrum.
You're going to need to speak up a little bit, though, I think. Or maybe on your microphone.
Well, what the listeners hear and what we hear are two different things.
Is it? Okay, good.
We hear an unprocessed version of our audio. They hear it fully processed.
Which
So
is
nerd.
mind-blowing to me that we sit in a room and we just talk and have this conversation, and he's like making it sound amazing between here and there.
I know you should see the certificate he has on the wall in there that
Well,
tells you he knows how to do that shit.
The problem is if you hear both the monitored version and the processed version at the same time in your headphones, you'll flip out. It's weird.
It's music.
And it would cause more of a delay.
And what's the normal time that we have for that music to kick in? We've never talked about that.
I can drag it to any point.
But are you gonna watch the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight on Saturday?
I don't know that I'll watch it, but I will smile to myself when I read about it.
I hope he gets his, I want to see Jake Paul taken out of the ring on a stretcher.
Wow.
And I don't wish that shit on anyone.
I mean, I don't think that's a choice. I mean, it's Tyson, right? He can't exactly
Yeah,
control
that's true.
himself.
Tony, have you always had violent tendencies?
I'm not the one that talked about a murder farm.
I mean, the election's over now, though.
Did you not see that?
I did. I was there, and we talked to it because the threshold was like $5,000 or
Yeah,
something ridiculous.
$50.
I was like,
Yeah. Okay, good. I think I showed you the clip.
we're
yeah.
one decent Christmas bonus away from murder
Yeah.
farm.
What? That's. I mean,
Hey, everybody has goals.
I happen to be his boss, so I'm gonna make sure he doesn't get that Christmas bonus. That's murder farm level.
Do we need to fire you to make sure that that money's not available?
Blah. Do I need to fire you so that you're not killing people? Chris, I can't hear you, sir.
I'm not talking.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I can hear you now. Okay.
It's amazing.
pretty
You can't
excited
hear
about
anyone when they're not talking.
Excited about having Chris be able to talk. He is your favorite
He is
part
my
of the
favorite
show.
part of the
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make some lighting adjustments while we're.
That's fine. That's fine. Hey guys, welcome to Popcorn Tribunal. I am Tony. This is very clearly not Blaha. And that's producer Chris. Tonight we have a very special guest. This is Wendy. Yay, Wendy. This is where we'll insert the audio applause clip.
Yeah.
Boo.
Sitting behind me.
And the boo.
Aw.
Tom Cruise is it? No, I'm just kidding.
No, keep going. No, please.
I don't remember it. I wish I could memorize that entire clip and do it as like a monologue. Tom Cruise is a tiny, I don't know. It's great.
But he's so good in Tropic Thunder.
I'm killing that autofocus.
He's not
That's
in
Tropic
Tropic Thunder. Oh, he is.
Are you kidding me?
Sorry.
I
Sorry.
believe his name is Les Grossman.
Yes, that's true. Les Grossman.
Best Tom Cruise character ever.
Eh,
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, okay. Well, I guess you can only say that though because Tom Cruise is never really another character. It's always
A modified version of himself.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
like
and he
Ryan
was-
Reynolds.
Yeah.
Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds.
All of those things, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I'll give you that. Hey, so if the camera looks any different tonight, this is special thanks to our new partners at OBS Bot. So there will be some adjustments, obviously, over the next couple episodes to make sure. I think it just rebooted. Did it just reboot?
No, it just moved all on its own.
I just saw a blue.
It's searching for you.
Is it tracking?
Not supposed to, but it is.
So
It's all
there may
good.
be some technical difficulties with the video. That's fine. We are a podcast, so we are an audio medium. So this is Wendy. Everyone say hello to Wendy. Who is Wendy?
Oh,
What?
I know what just happened.
What?
Our new camera has gesture control, and you put your fingers up, and you made the camera move with your fingers.
Oh, so if I'm like abracadabra, it's gonna go.
That's totally what I just turned it off. I just
okay.
happened to find that setting
I'm
right
over here
after you
like
did it.
finger banging the camera.
I'm
It's
like, what could have done that?
We're also in trouble because I gesture a lot when I
That's
talk.
true. You
so
do
we're
talk with your
totally
hands.
screwed.
Okay, so Wendy is
Hey, I've
my
been
best
here
friend
before.
who has happened to see me naked a couple times.
It's
Chris
I mean,
has never
we've
seen me naked.
all.
You have never seen me naked, Christopher. What? Why are my co-hosts on this podcast so fucking weird? One wants a murder farm and one has a camera set up somewhere.
It's the same
I
thing.
mean,
It's the same thing.
I also saw you naked, so right.
Yeah, but you
That's
did so
weird.
willingly at the time. Remember, it used to be your favorite thing. What did you used to call it?
Naked Tony.
Naked Tony. So anyways,
If I described what I picture in my head when I say that naked Tony, it might be funnier.
I'm intrigued. What do you picture in your head when you say naked Tony?
So when those words were said, what were you usually doing?
Getting dressed,
Or
showering,
yes.
bending over.
So the picture that happens in my mind when I say this is hunched over naked Tony trying to climb somewhere so he doesn't.
So I don't have
he's
to
not
hear you go,
seen,
naked Tony.
So I can't see him. Right? It's just like it's not
Okay.
the best picture for you.
That's fair.
But
That's fair. But it makes you laugh.
it reminds me of the Bridget Jones diary scene that we talked about the other day where she gets changed under the sheet
Yes,
because
I
she's
remember
afraid.
that. Yes,
And best line ever, Mr. Colin Firth. I like the wobbly bit.
I like the wobbly bits. Yeah,
So that's what I picture. when
that's
I say
funny. Okay, so that's how we know Wendy. She has appeared on the show before. Derek and his lovely wife Hannah.
No, I was on with Tyler and JC.
Well, but you were also here with Derek and his lovely wife Hannah,
Yes.
and then Tyler and JC. And then is that when Tyler got drunk? A little bit of wine.
Yes, there
Yeah.
was wine flowing.
That was good
Yeah, that was
times.
fun.
That was good
Uh-huh.
times.
And my daughter's been on the
Yeah, but we deleted that episode,
podcast.
so
because there are only so many
we
things
don't talk about that. We discussed the love of country music. So that's that. What? You just gave me a thumbs up. Oh, is it? Are you dulling the light?
It's mood
Nice.
lighting. We
It's-
said
yeah,
naked so many
we started talking about
times.
naked Tony, so he's setting
The
the,
lighting
mood all
is-
of a sudden. Wendy's over here like, save me. ASMR, save me. So
I just want to say something. In 5 years, Tony has not learned a single thing about. I'm going to switch the camera here so I'm in here too. Tony ruins the producer magic. When I'm like doing something off camera or like, in silence, he's like, hey, look at him. He's doing that. Just you're
I'm
supposed
sorry.
to like
well, we're an
ignore
audio
me.
medium, and you can edit that shit out.
Like,
so.
When you're watching a TV show and like
Yeah.
the camera moves, the
It was
actors
very
don't look at the
clear
camera.
that he wasn't asking you to acknowledge
I
him
know,
when
but
he
it
was
was
down there.
it was
It
amusing
very
to me
clear
when he
that we
does
were
the
supposed
thumbs
to keep
up.
paying
Like,
attention to the camera and ignore.
I don't know if the thumbs up
man.
thing is weird.
So we have one microphone that occasionally will just like build up static electricity and I have to reset it. And I've told these guys like, I don't know, 20 million times. When you
fix
hear
it.
that,
Yeah.
ignore it
Yeah.
and I'll fix it in the
Every
background
time we
and
mention
nobody
it.
will ever hear it. But they're
It's-
like, hey, do you
yeah.
hear that? Do you hear that? I'm like, oh my
It's
God.
also
every
like
time.
when I tell Blaha to not do and cut after
So-
every promo.
So then what
Yeah.
happens is then on the podcast version of everything, there's I have to go in and do all these edits. Otherwise, there's this weird silence. There's actually no fizzing or popping in the podcast, but they're fully acknowledging it on their
So
microphones. And I'm
we're
like,
talking about shit that's not
it's
actually
not actually
happening.
being heard.
That's funny.
And you do it every show,
That's funny.
but it's fine. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. We're ruining the movie magic. We're breaking the fourth wall.
I'll only let you mostly bleed out, and then I'll bring you back. It's fine. I love you.
He's not full.
He's torture farm, and then he brings you back.
Like it.
Okay, so what were we gonna talk about? Wendy and I had something very specific. So about probably 6 months ago, Wendy and I had a conversation. I had an ABBA music weekend, and I decided I'm gonna watch the Mamma Mia movies. And I had a weird epiphany. Epiphany?
You're afraid the first time.
Epiphany.
Breaking my
Is it an F or is it a PH?
There's a lot of all of the above.
Epiphone. And I called Wendy and I said, Wendy, I have a question for you, and it's really bugging me. Who do you think is the main character?
No. It was because Alyssa had watched it, and I called you.
No. So
and
the
said
thing that was
she
unusual was
won
I
an
had watched
award.
it, and you said, Alyssa had the same thing.
Yeah,
So go ahead.
I was frustrated because I believe that Meryl Streep's character is 100%
No,
the lead. And
absolutely
you disagreed.
Not. Yes.
Right.
No, absolutely not. Amanda Seafood, she's clearly the main character.
Well, what is her goal in the movie, though?
Well, her goal, so the whole point of Amanda Seafood, right,
Right.
is to figure out who her father is.
Okay.
That is the role of the first movie. Now, in the second movie, I would agree that the character played by Meryl Streep and also the girl whose name I can never remember, who was in Yesterday, which is one of my favorite movies. The blonde girl, can't remember her name. But anyways, that character, I think, is definitely the main character in the second movie. But in the first one, I 100% say it's Amanda Seafood.
Yeah, no. So her task is finding her father, right? So our assumption is the movie is just wayward girl
Right.
finding her father
Right.
someday, whatever that is.
Right.
However, she finds her father through the telling of the story of her mother. The story is about how her mother met these
Yeah,
men,
but that's
how they interacted with them. She's just the one directing the narrative. She's the
Which clearly makes her the main character.
no, she's like the Fred Savage of
And we're not saying that she's the main character.
No.
You literally
no.
just
In Princess Bride, Fred Savage is sitting there and Grandpa's reading the book.
Fred Savage is the main character of the
no,
Princess
he's
Bride.
100%
No, he's
not.
not.
100%.
Not even
No.
close.
If it weren't for Fred
He is
Savage,
the reason
Oh,
why all of
no,
these
I'm kidding.
characters
Columbo
have come
is the main
together.
character.
I'm just
Come
kidding about the
on.
Princess Bride thing.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. That's how I feel about her. She's asking these questions and she's mildly annoyed by the story and she wants a result.
But
out
if
of
you
this.
think about it, the story goes where it goes specifically because of her character. If not for the three father type figures coming to the island, then Meryl Streep doesn't have the whole thing with,
That's right. So she gets the end story.
I
You don't have an Amanda story without a.
of course, you don't have a Star Wars story without Darth Vader. But Darth is not the primary character of the movie.
Yeah, he's the hero.
Darth is not the hero.
Depends on which way you look at
I
it.
don't know. You're in a dark place, Chris. It's possible Darth is the hero.
But the whole story is driven by what has happened to Meryl Streep. And at the end, you just find out, oh, so that means this
I
for
disagree.
Amanda.
I think the whole story in the first one is about the wedding, about her daughter searching for the meaning behind her existence. And in turn, we learn about, this is the story of who could potentially be the father. And then as a tertiary point to that, she happens to fall back in love with one of these men.
Yeah, but she doesn't get anywhere without, like, the story of the fathers is not told from her perspective. It's told from Meryl Streep's perspective every time. Even in the second movie, where
Isn't it
you
more told
agree,
from the father's perspectives?
which are parental level, not child level. We're
I
talking
don't
about-
know. I
But
don't
in the
know.
second
I
one, it
think
works
the
the same way.
exposition clearly points to Amanda Seafood being the primary character. I agree in the second character that's the second movie that specific
Right.
character is the primary focal point.
See, I don't see the vehicle in those being different at
Oh,
all. In terms of
it's
how,
a totally different thing.
no, it's flashbacks of
It's
what we're
like
talking
ABBA's
about.
first album versus their seventh album. It's different stuff.
Is it?
I don't know. I've, I don't know. I think that the main character of the first movie is Amanda Seyfried, and I think very clearly. What did you just snort at?
You.
Why? Am I doing gestures and throwing the? And then I think clearly the main character in the second movie is Meryl Streep's character, but that has a clear arc of her character.
Yeah, I don't think we'll agree. We can agree to disagree because I'm not angry about your position.
I mean, we do have social media. So hit us up on X, hit us up on Facebook, hit us up on Instagram.
see who's right.
Let us know what you think. We'll take a little poll and I'll reveal the results in a couple weeks. But so who is the primary character of the movie Mamma Mia, starring Meryl Streep, Colin Firth, Amanda Seafood, and then the other guy who I love, but I can never remember his name. What? Pierce Brosnan is in there, yes.
Yeah, but that conversation segued into a conversation about how I thought the romance of the whole thing was there. And then we started talking about romantic movies. And that's how we got into the WTF, I didn't know you watched Hallmark movies like The Monster.
Dear Lord.
And so we discovered something new about each other.
Let's transition to that conversation here. So you start a relationship with someone and you discover that they've never really seen the Star Wars movies. And Star Wars has played a fairly important role in your life. So what do? You try and get them to start watching the Star Wars movies. That never happened. But then
hey, I made it through
1 1/4.
No. We eventually made it because I liked the one with the Daisy lady.
Daisy Ridley.
Yes, I liked that one. And then we did get through the whole thing because I started watching the one where they're manufacturing all the white guys that are plastic.
The clone troopers?
Yes, where they start. So I've seen that one, and I've seen the first one where we discover, and the second one when they are acquiring things they should not be acquiring. And so I've seen all of those. I'm not as passionate about it as I am Star Trek.
Okay, yeah, that's fact.
So maybe that's the ultimate is you're Star Wars and I'm Star Trek.
But then you discover that there's a really weird obsession which led to a really funny 2-year story with Hallmark Christmas movies. And when I say weird obsession, I don't know that you've missed a Hallmark Christmas movie in the modern era.
Do you want me to show you something fun? Obviously, ADHD. These are all the alarms on.
Do you have alarms set for the?
Thousands. I have an alarm set. Look, none of these are actually set, but I have one set for 7:40. It's the only one that's actually set. And what does it say?
Friday movie, Sunday, Friday. Oh my God.
Because every night from last week, 2 weeks ago, we've done it for 2 weeks. There is a new Hallmark Christmas movie at 8 o'clock. So 8 p.m. Eastern time on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There is a new original. We're not going back to the old, I found my boyfriend and then lost him and rekindled things 40 years later format. We're going with brand new Hallmark Christmas movies. So there's 3 every weekend, which makes my heart happy.
But this is not quality cinema.
It's also not personality-wise probably something people would expect from me, but I don't.
I mean, after knowing you for 5 years, it makes total sense.
Yes, but I'm not sure people would guess that.
But your daughter is also obsessed with these movies.
So now that she's 17, this season it's almost like she's too good for me, or she now knows that this is
A little
this is
crazy.
well, no, but
I mean,
maybe this is something we uh
it's a little.
we don't tell all the people that we know all of the movies, but we could still watch them, and she's just like, "Oh, it's fine. I'm gonna go to my room."
But quietly, she does watch them
Yes,
in her room.
but occasionally she'll watch them. She just doesn't want to watch them with me.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Yes.
yeah.
But yes, previous to this, she is a massive Christmas human.
Oh, so here's the funny story. So
I don't know that it's
I
funny.
don't necessarily have an affinity for Christmas, right? The thing that bothers me about the Christmas holiday is that like people are always about like what am I going to get? What here's my Christmas list. Here's. And so I turned that and her daughter who's obsessed with Christmas.
Like she's designing our Christmas
Yes.
lights on a web app right now as
Obsessed
we
with
speak.
Christmas. I jokingly one day told her that I hate Christmas. And she
And
made it her goal
well, you
for the
gave her a
next 2
sob
years.
story about how as a small orphan boy
No,
you had a terrible Christmas.
I was the son of missionaries, and we always donated our time and helped pass out gifts to the homeless, which isn't not true. There's a rat walking around the room currently, by the way.
See, this is what Chris is talking about. No one would have known that there was a dog
Oh, you can hear it
under our feet if
Yes.
you hadn't said, "Hey,
And
there's
it
a
already hit
dog
the
under our
cable,
feet."
so I bet you any money the camera has moved.
Raisin.
Raisin,
I love you, Raisin.
let me go out. Hey, Raisin, Raisin, go. Smells like a wet dog. Go.
Through that door does not live the people he doesn't want to.
So, anyways, so I told her that I hated Christmas.
It was
And it made her very sad initially, but then she got like very excited about making everything about Christmas really great for me.
so that Tony will love Christmas again
Yes.
someday.
Someday. 2 years.
He forgot, or did you do it intentionally?
Make it last 2 years?
No, yeah, did give away the truth,
No,
or
I
did
told
it
her.
slip out?
I told her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And she is still angry,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
still angry to this day. But you can't manipulate the child's emotions.
I mean, worth it.
And now, friends, you know why he's not her daddy.
Well, I mean, there's biological reasons why I'm not her dad.
But also, you psychologically torture her.
Yeah, that's true. But it was just about Christmas. And Christmas is a very selfish.
Wow.
I don't even have a Christmas tree.
Now, I mean, you could if you. Well, you also have a kitten, so that's a terrible
You
idea.
have 7.
I have 4, and they're
4.
not kittens. Now they've learned if they get tangled in the lights on the tree, they'll be hanging for a while.
I remember that when that happened,
Oh
actually.
my God, this is
Yeah.
the most horrible noise I've ever heard. Also, let's be clear, the cat got stuck in the Christmas tree. Both of my children, I don't think you were home with me at that night. Or was that the Christmas that we met? That it
No, that
happened?
was the Christmas at the new house.
Wait. No, it happened.
Not the
oh,
current house, the new house. When Bear climbed up in the tree.
Yeah, and got her leg caught in the
Yes,
light,
and was dangling
upside down.
Yes.
You weren't home. Were you home?
No, I saw that.
No, because in this, I don't know. It may have been the second time it happened.
It was
because
at the
I
it was
am
at the
holding
first house,
a
not the new
screaming
house.
cat,
Yeah.
trying to like get her untangled, screaming my brains off the first time this happened for someone to help me.
Yes. And, the
And
kids
my
didn't help
children
you.
hid in their rooms
Yes. Yes.
because they thought
Riveting podcast content here,
it's
talking
not
about
great.
hanging cats in our Christmas tree.
Well, she didn't know.
Ever had a moving ornament?
Now we have a wall Christmas tree.
Are you doing a wall Christmas tree again?
Yes.
Well, so you were telling me earlier. When was the first Hallmark movie, Wendy?
I looked it up, and it said the first Hallmark romantic or Hallmark Christmas movie was in 1951, And they've changed formats over the years. So in 2000, they started putting together one Hallmark romantic comedy movie a year, and now they're up to 30. They,
So
they
who's
Per
the
release
current?
year?
Who's
30 new ones
That's
every
fucking
year.
crazy, dude. It is nuts. Who's the current hot star? It's usually a D-lister.
I mean, it's Lacey Chabert has
Lacey
been a
Chabert.
pretty normal contender.
Yeah.
There's a new girl over the last couple of seasons. She's super tall and blonde, and she has a little crooked nose, and it's cute. But I've noticed her in a ton of them. But
Cameron
she is
Brink?
new to the. So we kicked her to Cameron Brink. Is it your
The
friend?
WNBA player.
I don't know that.
That's
Is that?
She's
Wait.
tall, blonde with a crooked nose. Okay,
And
go
she
ahead.
was married to Clay Thompson.
No.
Or not Clay Thompson. Who's the other one?
I don't think she was married. She's engaged. She wasn't married.
Different tall blonde girl. Anyway, there seems to be a couple of rookies that have stuck around from last year, is what I'm saying.
Oh.
So we're getting some new blood into the Hallmark movie.
So what's the new theme behind the Christmas movies though? Before it's always, oh, I discovered that my best friend is the one that I'm really supposed to be with. What's the new one?
Like Man does social media for something and she sees the post. She goes to her farm and he tries to save something because she made a sad Facebook. I mean, it's ridiculous. Most of it has to do with technology.
Was this her?
Just
Wait,
replace
that's
soap
Candace
operas.
Cameron.
No. Cameron, her.
Candace Cameron Bure.
Yeah, she's not on the Hallmark network anymore because she thinks Hallmark is too progressive.
She started her own
Yes.
network. Yeah.
Where they do lots of Christmas movies, but no one's doing any touching. And this town's pretty white folk and
Is this
straight.
the girl? Her name is Jen Lilly.
She might be one of them. I don't know. But Candace has her own network now.
Yeah. I'm sure her brother Kirk is in a lot of those movies.
The Cameron family.
So
Family.
are
They
their white friends.
Cameron family.
family.
Yeah. That's
They're pretty level-headed people, you know. I can't imagine it getting out of control from white nationalists.
Right.
I feel like if I did things with my hands, the gestures would change them. They're very weird.
Don't stick your thumb up. That's suggestive. Don't do that.
I mean, if you feel the urge to
Are
sit
you
on it, then I
eating?
think that's something more about
me-
you than me.
Are you eating
I just took a giant drink a minute ago of seltzer, so I've got
and you're chewing it?
no. I'm just
What?
salivating while talking. Leave me
I
alone.
was gonna say, what? How do you hear these things?
I
I
just,
hear everything.
look,
I have
I'm just
in-ears,
salivating.
so it's also
Ah,
good
ah,
for
ah,
me.
ah. I'm looking at your picture. And
Okay.
I'm salivating.
So what? Jesus Christ, Chris. All right. So murder farmicide. We are going to have a conversation about a list that
Murder
Miss Wendy
farmicide.
found on
Came
the
out
drive
this year.
here. Ranking Christmas movies. So we're gonna
romantic Christmas.
oh
movies.
romantic Christmas
Right,
movies.
because I don't need to watch Elf. Elf is a Christmas movie. If I'm gonna see this, I
Elf
want
is
some
the Christmas movie.
dopey dude to fall in love with some girl, and then they have the
That's
perfect
also a
life that we
romantic
were all
Christmas
promised
movie,
and
though.
we'll never have.
Yeah. Hope you find your dad, buddy. But first, let's have a quick conversation about the lovely partners that we work with over at Glitch Energy. Say hello. Tonight I am drinking berry cherry. Wendy is drinking water because she was not prepared. We'll talk about that in a moment. So Glitch Energy, some of the easiest mixing powdered energy beverages, massive library of flavors, delicious, doesn't give you the jitters, doesn't give you the crash. Check them out at glitchenergy.com, spelled with a Y. Use code popcorn and you'll save how much?
30%.
Oh no. You just ruined that whole thing now. 20%.
20%.
20% off at glitchenergy.com using the code popcorn.
Wait, so is this the potential replacement for the Adderall I can't take anymore because I'm old?
Yeah, it's sugar free. There's no
Okay.
jitters, no crash, but it is definitely caffeine focused. And it's designed for gamers to focus.
Now, so everyone
Ah.
out there knows I am an Adderall taker, and I also drink Glitch every day, and I still it doesn't cause any problems.
Yeah, no
that sounds
interference.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Chris, I'm too old to take Adderall, they've said.
I'm getting there.
Over 40.
Um,
You're not supposed to, but
Yeah.
42.
I think women over 40. I don't know.
So we're doing all sorts of other fun things. But if that is
Wait.
helpful and it doesn't have the sugar from
So-
like drinking pops and
So
stuff.
I've got a solid 15 years till I reach the maturity level of a 40-year-old woman. Got it. If we're lucky. We're very lucky.
Why do I feel like I just quietly got called old?
No.
I mean,
So once
Yeah.
again, glitchenergy.com,
Cool.
code popcorn, save 20% off. Lots of cool flavors. They have a new dragon fruit flavor, which I need to order. They have another mix it with milk flavor. They have like a Fruity Loops, and then pretty great. They have a lot of different combinations. Also, some really cool new products coming that I can't tell you about, but they will be there soon. So check them out. Now, the other piece that we need to talk about is something that someone is experiencing currently.
Preparation H
That's
is our next new product.
me. Space Panda Delta. So Space Panda Delta gummies are top tier, best flavor. Delta 9, Delta 8 gummies. The Delta 9 obviously is a little bit more psychoactive, so when it hits you, you'll definitely feel a little bit more of it. But Delta 8 has definitely helped me sleep through many nights, which is fantastic. Wendy is currently experiencing a triple berry Delta 9. I am not because I am driving this evening and there's some weather outside. But if you go to spacepandadelta.com and use our code popcorn to check out there, they have some really cool products. They have lollipops, which are great because you can kind of control the dosage a little better.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have a ton of new stuff coming. Again, same partner, same company. So we're really excited about the changes that are coming. But spacepandadelta.com, use code popcorn and save 20%. Also, I would like to give a big shout out to our partners at Pup and the Pepper. Their Scarlet Reaper just won the best flavor award at the International Spice Festival.
Holy bejeepers.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's my favorite hot sauce. It's so good. So check those guys out at pupandthepepper.com.
Dude, I killed a quarter bottle of that stuff in one sitting last week.
The one that I left you that was brand new.
No, I had to open that one because I went through the rest of the other. I didn't realize how much I was using. But I'm crazy. The little dropper that's on there
Yeah.
on the bottle, I took mine out.
Well, yeah, but it's a great vinegary salsa, so it's
Oh, I
it's
know,
thin
but you know
enough that
me.
you can just coach stuff with it. It's
Like
good.
I like to set my head on fire. So
Yeah.
it's fun.
Old Rachel Ray on Hot
But I killed a thin and
But
crispy.
yeah, but Rachel
One.
Ray
pepperoni
Dumping hot
pizza.
is
sauce
weird
into her
because
mouth.
she doesn't eat. Like I don't understand.
Now I'm super salivating.
Doesn't eat.
No, it's not
Wings?
Rachel Ray. Who's the Giada Laurentis or whatever her name
Oh
is?
yeah, I didn't.
She whenever she tastes her food, she
Mhm.
spits it out. So if you ever notice, like when she takes a bite, she talks about it, and then the camera cuts away and she spits the food out.
That's weird.
I know. Yeah. Anyways.
So strange.
Yeah, so pupandthepepper.com, they do offer a coupon code that will save you 10% on your hot sauce purchase. So if you use code popcorn. And then one other thing that we'd love to talk about is our boy Chris and Wendy here can vouch because she is probably one of his top customers. CoffeeDudesCoffee.com is our
No, I need to make a big
hand
Christmas
roasted
order.
artisan coffee maker over there, Chris.
Nom nom.
Nom nom. Bro, that heat just kicked on and I just got hit in the face with a wave of heat.
Keep
That's
doing
all.
that.
Yeah, no, I need to.
I'll
Chris,
turn it off.
do we have an Ethiopian available at this point?
Coffee or a person?
Yes.
A person.
Oh, I could make anything.
Oh my gosh.
I make
So, yeah,
dreams come true.
I need to get
Yeah,
my orders
don't worry
in.
about turning the heat off, by the way. But Chris roasts all of this coffee himself. He has this amazing roasting machine. It's delicious. I
love
can drink
that
it
his
black.
beans are responsibly sourced.
His beans are responsibly sourced. I was gonna make a beans joke, but I decided not to. But Wendy here has purchased.
Now
it
I have to
for
fight the urge.
many gifts.
Last year I gave them to all the doctors I work with,
Yep.
and they liked them. One of them even uses that weird little teapot that sits on the stove and just boil like a single shot of
Yeah.
whatever it is. But yeah, they've always liked it, And I think I am not a coffee person. I don't drink coffee.
Yeah.
And I think it smells incredible.
And as someone that I don't drink a whole lot of coffee, but when I do, I like it creamed up with a lot of sugar. Chris made me a cup of it just black, and did I have two? I think I asked for more because it was so good.
See, I despise coffee that smells great but tastes
like shit.
Like literally.
Yeah.
And
that is not
It
Chris's
smells
coffee.
good and tastes good.
Yeah.
I
This is
can
why.
vouch for the smell.
If I order for somebody and there's enough left over for another bag, if it doesn't get ordered, it's not going out after 2 or 3 weeks. It's gone.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna send out old.
And this
coffee to
isn't
you.
stuff that's sitting on a shelf
Exactly.
in a grocery store.
Oh
for a
no,
month
you
and a
order
half.
coffee from me, I roast it the next day, sometimes same day, and get it right out to you.
Yeah. So
Fresh as fresh as fresh.
check him out at coffeedudescoffee.com. I'm telling you, good stuff. If you're local, he will hand deliver it. So blow him up, show him some love. He does some great work for us.
Fantastic Christmas present.
I'm working on a trebuchet type delivery system. But
Nice.
That'd be fun.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Like a spiky ball with coffee in the middle of it. Big rubber bands.
I like the way you think.
I mean,
Let's make some dreams happen.
if you set it on fire, it can roast as it's flying through the air. No?
Sounds like a Starbucks delivery, but I said a name.
Oh, look at
Uh-oh.
you talking about the competitor. Marketing 101.
You got to be decent to be a competitor.
No, in that case, with a monopoly like that, I don't think you don't mention. I think you address full forward what
Okay,
the
gotcha.
issues are with the company.
Gotcha.
Sorry, that's work, Wendy.
I did form my own union. It's just me, but I did form a union. I don't plan on shutting me down. So,
Well, why did you lose the leadership vote if it's just you?
right? I wasn't paying my dues.
Okay, gotcha. All right, cool. So let's talk about this Christmas list. Pull out your list, Wendy. Let's go through some of these movies. Obviously, you've probably seen every one of them. Me as a Christmas hater.
Ooh, I don't know. I didn't check to see if I.
So some movies on this list are not necessarily what are commonly called Christmas movies. Would that be a fair statement?
I just did like a quick glance to see, and there were definitely a couple that I was like, "What? Huh?" So I went back and I read the title of the report, and it says 55 best romantic Christmas movies to stream during cold winter nights, and it just says with these popular picks,
What is this website?
who needs mistletoe? It's goodhousekeeping.com. I feel like this is
yay.
a pretty general
Wow.
whatever. I
Our
have no idea.
40-year-old women demographic will eat this up.
Based on some of the advertising I'm seeing on their website, they might have like grown up a bit, and I don't mean in the older way. Yeah. So
Is it advertising sex toys?
it's advertising. Yeah,
'Cause that's
just-
based on an algorithm, Wendy. What are you searching?
Oh,
on your
you
phone?
jerk! I mean, in this thing, which movies they're backing?
Gotcha.
Like there's a whole bunch of them on this list that are like Netflix specials. So you might have a little bias. I don't
Okay,
know.
well, let's go through and find a couple, and we can talk about them.
Okay, so we're gonna start at number 1
Okay, we can start at the top.
and just see where we're at. So
So the number one romantic Christmas movie to stream during cold winter nights is.
While you were sleeping.
Die Hard. No, see, you messed it up.
Hold
already.
on. Same question, but While You Were Sleeping is not a Christmas movie.
Very first thought I had was that movie during December?
That-
I was like, I remember her in the snow, but no, not
All
at
I remember is Sandra Bullock. Who else was in that?
Is it Patrick
Is it? It's not Dempsey.
McDermott?
Oh, Dylan McDermott.
Dylan McDermott. Or is it? No, gosh darn it.
Well, I mean, it's right there in front of you.
Oh, here. Oh no, it only wants to talk about Sandra Bullock.
Okay, I'll pull up IMDb.
But again, the first thing I thought was, I think I remember her walking in snow. So obviously not a Christmas movie. Maybe a decent movie to stream for snuggly nights if you bring your own mistletoe, because they don't have. Gosh darn it! What was his name? That's gonna drive me bonkers.
Bill Pullman. Rest in peace.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Really?
Yep. Hopeless Romantic, Chicago Transit Authority ticket booth operator. is
the one
mistaken
that's,
for the fiance of a comatose patient.
yes, but the comatose patient is him, who is the hot brother.
The hot brother. Jack.
Who plays him?
Who plays Jack? Bill Pullman plays Jack. Peter Gallagher.
Gallagher.
Is the comatose
Yes.
patient.
I
Okay.
always get him and
Also stars Peter Boyle.
Yeah.
And a
just
bunch
say
of actors that
Bill
nobody.
Pullman, rest in peace.
Isn't he dead?
He is not dead.
I thought Bill
I
Pullman
was very
died.
confused for a second.
Yeah, I'm
but
like,
did I
who
miss
are you
something?
thinking of?
I don't know, but damn.
He's 70.
He looks good in his old age.
He's hot.
What the fuck? Okay.
I mean, he led
I thought he was
our
dead.
country and
I'm
the rest
sorry.
of the world through an alien invasion.
This is fair. This is
He
fair.
deserves everything.
I still don't. I mean, is it a Christmas movie because he slips on the bridge during
I don't
Christmas and goes into a coma?
Mm,
I don't know.
I don't know. I did not anticipate Christmas, so that was maybe not.
I mean, if I remember correctly, and I haven't seen it in years, it was a good movie.
no, I liked it.
But I don't
It's
know.
not a
that it's
Christmas movie.
movie.
So if I sat down on a Friday night at 8:00, raring to go, I would be very disappointed.
Yeah.
If that was on my Hallmark channel.
If you were looking for a Christmas movie,
Okay, so number 2 is way older.
never seen it.
The Shop Around the Corner.
Never seen it.
It's the basic plot of
You've Got Mail. Yeah.
right? Same thing.
Who's
but,
in that? Is that?
James Stewart and Margaret Sullivan were the original, and then you've got Meg
Isn't
Ryan.
that the same? Just James Stewart is the same as It's a Wonderful Life. She wasn't the woman.
Yes, not her. Somebody different. So I remember vaguely that again there was snow in that movie, but I'm not sure there was anything massive about
I'm
Christmas.
trying to think. In You've Got Mail, there's snow, but there's nothing really Christmassy about it either.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like you see snow, but there's not a lot of other stuff.
Sad side fact.
So
the guy that did the voice for AOL for that,
he
he
did.
died last week.
He did pass away.
Yeah.
You've got mail.
The You've Got Mail guy died.
No, AOL died. No, yeah, that guy died. Yeah.
That's definitely a true.
Okay, so I'm
he lived
peeking
longer
ahead.
than the company. That's
Is this a Hallmark movie?
It's a Netflix movie. So Netflix is in the Hallmark movie game. When I say Hallmark movie, I mean
It's movies that are played on the Hallmark Channel.
I mean like generic formula, wherever this. So Hallmark movie is like the Kleenex of tissues for me.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So yeah, Hallmark movie. But
So you can say Kleenex and you're just referring to tissues in general.
I'm
if I
saying
put you on the
Hallmark
spot,
movies.
name one other name brand of tissue.
Puffs.
Puffs.
Dang it. Okay. Fine.
Johnson
I'm
and
weird.
Johnson.
They're probably both owned
My
by the
brain
same
stores
company.
strange information.
Yeah.
Probably both Procter and Gamble.
Okay,
whatever.
so go ahead. Number 3.
So number 3 is a Chad Michael Murray come about. It releases November 20th.
I just want to make a statement about Chad Michael Murray. I feel like his head has grown 3 times the size of what it was.
They're not doing
Is he Irish?
any favors with his hair.
That's true.
It makes him look very
That's
big-headed.
true. Yeah.
But maybe it's supposed to hide the fact that we all hated him as young women because he cheated on Sophia Bush.
Who's now a lesbian?
She's a hot lesbian.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We can have that conversation after the show.
Okay. There's a reason why she doesn't see me naked anymore, folks. I'm kidding, fully.
We
Okay.
think.
Have you seen this movie?
This movie? No,
Yeah.
it doesn't come out until next week.
Okay. Then
So it's the
skip it.
20th. So
Let's skip
that's why I
it.
said advertising. But Netflix is coming for
They're in
the
the
Hallmark
game.
movie. They're in the
Okay,
game.
Okay.
Okay. So number 4,
Yes.
I highly agree should be at the
100%.
at the top of
I
this
think
list.
it should be the number 1.
probably the last.
And I think
3
a
we
lot
could
of
have done
people
without.
agree that this movie is probably the most recognized Christmas movie. Maybe right
That doesn't
behind Elf.
feature Santa Claus.
Maybe right behind Elf. Yeah,
Right.
that
That doesn't feature Santa Claus.
Yeah, Chris, you want to guess what it is?
No, I'm good.
You weren't paying any attention.
No, I
to
was.
this. Okay.
I think
Christmas
this one
movie.
also
Is
pushes-
Christmas all around us?
Whoa.
Starring, I have a very specific set of skills. Liam Neeson himself.
It's not Liam Neeson.
Yes, it is.
Say
Oh, I
John
thought you meant
Malkovich.
the guy singing, and I was like, "That's not Liam Neeson."
But
He is. Oh, and he's a single dad of a kid that's not even his. It's like instant.
a kid who is in the Maze Runner, who's had a long,
Right.
successful
And
career.
he ends up dating Claudia Schiffer.
Yeah, yeah. What's this movie, Wendy?
Love Actually.
Love Actually. So Love Actually is, we talk a lot about perfect movies.
Yes.
Never
I
seen it.
feel like Love Actually is a perfect movie.
I think we both
Yeah.
agree on a
It's
lot of the
got
points
comedy, it's got drama, it's got romance, it's got Severus Snape cheating.
here. Oh, Snape.
Rip.
That was rip. And I love Emma.
Oh, Hugh Grant as the fucking Prime Minister of
Right.
England.
And Emma is his sister.
And Emma
who's,
is the curvy.
no,
She
that's
was hot.
Emma. Is,
Oh, Emma. Yeah. Formerly Mrs. Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gets through that. So then you get to the end. So there, yeah, you've got a
then
romantic.
the
You got a
girl-
kind of stalkery
Yeah.
one storyline.
And that girl that
Not
Hugh
good.
Grant falls in love with. is
Adorable.
smoking hot.
Alan Rickman was in
Adorable.
that.
What?
Alan Rickman was in
Yeah,
that.
he
Alan
cheated
Rickman
on-
wasn't it?
Gosh
Yes.
darn it! Why am my brain is freezing?
What?
Emma. I can't think of her last.
I
name.
can't think of her last name either.
First name?
Mrs. Kenneth Branagh. Emma.
Stone?
Thompson.
Emma Thompson.
I
that's
couldn't
right.
think of it because
Yes.
I always think that Liam Neeson was married to Emma Thompson because sometimes I feel like she looks like.
His wife, who passed away, very much looked
That's what I'm saying.
Natasha Hendrickson or Natasha. Was it Hendrickson?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm like blanking on names.
But they look
which
very
maybe-
similar.
Yes. So I
Yes.
was always like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
no, that's his wife, and it's not really.
Yeah.
But the storylines. I mean, you've got.
I think if I remember correctly, they've played siblings in 3 different movies.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
And I think they did date at one point as well.
Oh.
Speaking of weird things, did you know
Who
that?
dated? No, that was Helen Mirren.
Did
and
you, I was
Liam
just about,
Neeson.
did you know that
Which
he and
would
Helen
be-
Mirren lived together for like 4
4
years?
or 5 years. Dude, that the Graham Norton episode
Yeah.
that it's on, I was like, can they please? But she's
Did you
obviously
see? Did you see
happily
the little
married. He's-
anecdote that he told? And she's like, "I didn't know that."
Yeah. Oh,
That was
it was
so cute.
adorable.
Yeah.
Like that's what chemistry on stage looks like
Yeah,
when it's
100%.
natural.
100%.
You're just like, well, we could cut that with
Yeah,
a knife.
Love Actually is to me 100% a perfect movie. I agree it's a Christmas movie, but I think it's one of those movies that I have watched when it wasn't Christmas.
Oh yeah,
It's a movie if you see it when you're flipping channels, if it's on the front page of Netflix, and everything else is some
then you're
stupid
there.
Chris
Yeah.
Hemsworth movie, you're
going to
gonna
pick
watch
it.
Love Actually. Yeah.
we need to continue making that list.
What list
The list of what you just said.
of movies that you'll stop and watch?
Yes,
Have we started a list?
we have because we both know what the number one is.
The Matrix.
No, we have never stopped and watched The Matrix.
What's the number one?
What is the movie that every single time it somehow crosses something, we end up watching it? I'm pretty sure you ended up watching it last Tuesday night.
What the fuck? What did I watch last
What did you
Tuesday?
tell me that you were watching?
What was it? Remind me. Remind me.
Yeesh. What?
Give
New
me
Kids
a
on the
hint.
Block. There's
New
your hint.
Kids on the Block.
Mhm.
So, while you were thinking about that, I just realized I missed a golden opportunity back in the day. It might have changed things. Things might have been stronger. Love Actually came out 9 days before I met my wife.
Oh.
Aw.
21 years ago on Friday.
Stop it.
But you know what movie was our first movie?
What?
Came out shortly after. Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King.
Oh my gosh, Chris. Did you tell Chris?
No.
So when I was talking to Mike and Tony after the podcast, we were talking about my friend Judah, my business partner, challenged me to watch the Lord of the Rings movies. I had never seen them.
In one sitting,
And
without a bathroom break.
He said, and I was like, sure, I'm game, whatever. Do we watch the extended version first? He's like, nope, regular version first, extended version after that, and then you can look at some other. And I'm like, okay, I can do this. So over the course of 3 days, I watched The Lord of the Rings. I fell in love with it, and I'm now minorly obsessed with finding more about the universe they're in. But I had never seen them. And so we talked about Michael and I often have very different opinions on different movies. And then the two of us would sit down and discuss The Lord of the Rings. But I am newly obsessed with The Lord of the Rings.
By the way, Mike is watching, and he goes, "We've had this conversation before. It's Bill Paxton who is dead."
That's right.
Not
I always
Pullman.
get Paxton and Pullman confused.
There you go.
What movie was it?
What?
Tuesday.
Shooter.
Oh, that's not. He wasn't in New Kids. Donnie was.
I
in
know,
New
but it
Kids.
was vaguely
You
close.
could have said Marky Mark, and I would have
I
known.
almost did, but I didn't.
Yeah, Shooter is one of those movies. You're 100% correct.
How many times have we seen at least
Dear Jesus.
15% of that movie?
In the last 2 years alone, probably 5 or 6 times. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Because it don't shoot.
Yeah. Because I pull out all the firing pins. Ugh.
No, anytime.
That's a movie that should have ended like 3 different points at the very end. Yeah. That's funny.
I knew, yeah, you would know.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. Shooter is definitely one of those movies. Okay. So Love Actually.
So
Let's-
Love Actually.
By the way, Shooter is not a great movie, but it's a movie that keeps you involved in it from start to
The
finish.
entire time.
Yeah.
So no, I mean, I don't really think there's anything to argue about the number of humans in that movie that are fantastic and have amazing careers, and just how it's able to weave the stories.
It's really well
together.
written. To have 5, 6 different
Story, like
storylines,
strong
throughout. Yeah,
storylines
yeah, yeah.
in a lot of places. It had to have been put together great.
Yeah.
There's some fun. There's some whatever. There's some questionable stalking.
The
It's
guy who's
romantic.
quietly in love with his manager.
Right. No, that guy, the guy that's quietly in love with his best friend's wife.
Who is also, by the way, the guy from The Walking Dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's questionable.
Oh, and how do we not mention Keira Knightley?
That's what I'm saying. She's the
Yeah.
one. And then she kisses him in the end. So
Yep.
questionable.
Yeah.
Not so things you should do in life.
Yeah.
So I agree.
Ironically, I think we covered every big name in that movie.
Nope.
No,
there's
we
like
didn't,
4 more.
because there's the one. Don't you see boobs in this movie too? And
Yeah,
they're her boobs.
because
We
Because
call
she's
Mr.
trying
Bean
to
a
hook up
boob.
with the Italian dude, but her brother, who is in a home, calls in the middle of it.
oh yes, he wasn't Italian. I think he's Spanish, but maybe he is. I don't know.
I don't know.
Laura
Denise Ri-
Linney.
Yes, thank
Laura
you.
Linney.
Thank you.
Denise Richards, Shannon Elizabeth,
Denise Richards is in it.
Rowan Atkinson is in the
Yeah,
movie.
with the
Shannon Elizabeth.
yes, the
Billy Bob
British
Thornton's
guy
in
who's
the
like, I've come to Wisconsin.
Oh
And he
my
meets,
God!
like,
Yes.
Alicia Cuthbert, I think, is in there.
Alicia Cuthbert,
yeah.
yes.
And they're like, we just only have one bed.
And we sleep with no clothes on.
Right? Like, this guy's like,
I
America.
love America.
So bad.
Yes. Yes. And then
Um,
Shannon Elizabeth is in the last scene of
yes,
the movie
She's the,
because she comes out from the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
right.
Okay.
So yeah, no, there's big. So there's that line. There's the 2 people who are pretend porn stars.
Oh my God! Yeah,
Two
who was in
people.
Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Yes.
Same guy. So yeah, a lot of
The
weird.
stand-ins.
Sorry,
And they're
just
having
like-
a random conversation, and he's standing there humping it. Could you grab her breast, please? Oh yeah, sure.
So they were a fun,
Yeah.
kind of meet cute. So yeah, no, I love the movie.
God, that's more. That's like 7 or 8 storylines. That's
I'm sure
crazy.
it'd be interesting to see
Yeah.
how many storylines. It has to be 8 to
How is
12.
that not like top of that list? I don't
I don't
understand
know.
that.
So I think
like
more
I said,
of them
though,
are like.
for me, it's a perfect movie. And
Also, it's good housekeeping. So maybe
yeah,
the reason
fuck
it's a
good
90s,
housekeeping.
it's a 90s like rom com is that I don't know. So that is
let's hit
number
a couple
4.
more. What's number 5?
So it's called The Happiest Season.
Okay, never seen it.
It's about an orphan
Okay.
and a girl that like adopts her.
Okay.
The Thin Man.
What?
No idea what that is. It seems to be old and black and white.
We only do color in this
No,
neighborhood.
upcoming next week on Ooh!
What is this? It looks like a snowman that's being choked.
Yes, November 13th, Netflix debuts their other
Hot Frosty. Shut the fuck
show
up.
for the season. So we got Hot
What's
Frosty.
the concept behind Hot Frosty? What does it say there in the bottom?
In what if when Frosty the Snowman came to life, he was really hot? In this case,
scroll on.
he
We're done.
befriends
Sounds
a
like
young
an
widow.
HVAC problem
You
at
should set an
Wendy's.
alarm to watch that. But
No, this is the best. In this case, he befriends a young widow and tries to help her get over her grief
I'll bet he
while
helps her.
being hot.
Yeah, whatever.
Yay, Netflix.
Hot Frosty.
Okay. Now, did you just see number
No, I
8
didn't.
on
Is this a
list?
debatable? Is this a debatable title?
I strongly believe it is not a Christmas movie.
Okay.
And it is also one of my favorite movies of all time.
What?
What do we got? Show the class.
It's When Harry Met Sally.
No fucking way.
So 100%.
It's a fall movie.
It's
if
a New
anything.
Year's movie
Yeah.
because the whole movie comes to fruition. He tells her the truth when you know you want to spend your life with
that's-
someone.
yeah.
You want your
I
life.
mean, this is like saying Groundhog Day is a Christmas movie.
No, dog.
No, it's
No,
definitely
no.
not a Christmas movie.
No.
But it can be dangerously close to the perfect
I liked.
movie.
We talked about this just a couple weeks ago.
What?
Remember when? Because I said I liked a pepper on my poppycock,
And I was watching.
and I have a piece of
And
the
you-
pecan
I don't even know
pie.
that you knew I was
And
watching.
within
When
like
Harry-
30 seconds after that, you said, "Oh my god, he just said that."
He
I'm
just
like,
said it
"Yeah.
in the movie.
I like to put
Um,
pepper on my poppycock.
So that's odd because that
On
is-
my poppycock.
I think that is about as close to a perfect movie. I enjoy that
Yeah.
movie very much. And you get the age-old question, right? Can men and women be friends?
Yes,
Can they just be friends, or will they eventually end up married?
but that's not fair because we've seen each other naked before.
right.
So I
And
don't
then
know
we-
if I don't know if I hadn't seen you naked if we would still be friends. I think you naked helps us be friends. I don't know.
Good night,
I'm just-
everybody.
Yeah, good night, everybody.
Show's off the rails.
Wendy, you're garbage.
What?
But
No.
Someone hold
you're
Tony
an
down.
amazing human being. But I don't know with your social skills if we
Yes.
would have maintained a friendship if we didn't see each other
You
naked
mean-
for 2 years.
you mean that I'm like a hermit?
Sure. How many cats do you have?
4, damn
4.
it.
Okay.
Just 4.
How many have you had at any one time in your house
We've
this
never.
year?
Oh, okay. For any period of time or for
Yeah.
permanency.
Did you have like 6 additional at one point?
We had a 6 litter, so 6 kittens
Yeah.
a litter, and then we had the other one that overlapped by a couple
Yeah.
days, which was 3.
Yeah.
Which is a lot.
Yeah.
But they're
I'm
behaves
allergic
and
to
they grow
cats,
up.
by the way. Yeah.
I'm just that good.
Yeah.
You thought maybe I'll just take some Benadryl.
Yeah.
So I like this choice only because it's one of my favorite.
Yeah, but
movies,
it's not a Christmas movie.
and it has some of the more iconic lines.
Yeah.
So the next one is The Best Man Holiday. Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, no idea.
It has. Oh, it's the sequel to The Best Man.
Oh, so it's what do they call those? An urban comedy?
Yes. What?
I think that's what it's called.
Yes. So they go. Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
on
but it
Apple
clearly
or-
doesn't star.
I thought it was Tay Diggs, but then I'm just being ridiculous.
Then you're being racist.
I am not being racist.
Not all black guys look the same.
Ugh.
Not all black guys are Tay Diggs, Wendy. What would Judah say?
Judah and I talk about this all the time. Sometimes he thinks we all look alike too.
I will never forget. You know what? We can stop with this list because I will end the show with this amazing story of Wendy. So
Wait, no.
what?
What?
So Wendy took her company to a comedy show for like a Christmas kind of get together. And it was Dave Chappelle.
Which I was very excited
So
about.
excited.
I
So
mean-
excited. And I didn't get an invitation, but that's okay.
I took
Technically I got an invitation and then it was rescinded. But that's besides the point. So I get a phone call from drunk Wendy because she had a few beverages.
a lot of beverages.
And I'm like, oh, how was the show? And she's like, oh my God, the openers were funny. He's so funny. I really, really loved Charlie Murphy. He was amazing. Now, Charlie Murphy had been dead for
Oh God, I remember this.
2 years. And she's like, oh my God, yeah, Charlie Murphy opened for him. He was hilarious. And that has started the Wendy, not all black guys look the same.
No, it wasn't that. They had talked, and he
All
had
funny black guys are not Charlie
no.
Murphy.
But they were when they introduced Chappelle, the guy was talking about the other guy as Charlie Murphy, and I was like, oh, so it must have been the last guy that was on stage, and didn't think anything of it, knowing who this is. Obviously, when I'm in my sober mind, but yeah, they were. He was talking about the past, not
It was
the
the greatest
guy
joke
right
ever.
before him.
Greatest joke ever. So, and her business partner happens to be of color as well, and so I'm sure it's been tossed around a couple
Yes.
different times. But
I will never live that down.
never, because Charlie Murphy's been dead for 3 years.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that was funny.
I had a great time.
Okay, so let's work on that list. Let's also, you and I have had some conversations around perfect movies.
Oh gosh, no. He's ready to
What?
feel old?
Uh oh.
Oh,
Coming up
no.
on 8 years since he died.
Shut your mouth.
2017.
That makes it even worse, Wendy.
April
It's been
2017.
8 years.
I
And you thought you watched the man do comedy.
I get out like 4 times
That's
a
true.
year.
That's fair. That's fair. And 3 of them are Colts games. So
Not good.
that's
And
funny.
almost all of them are with people I work with.
Yeah, that's true.
which is probably
That's
not
true.
great.
That's great. So work on that list. We'll do this again. We'll have you back and we will go through the list. And then let's work on some perfect movies because you and I have had multiple conversations
Yeah.
where we disagree heavily.
Yes.
And that's kind of
as
fun.
to what makes the
Yeah,
perfect movie.
100%. So I would be interested to see like what your top 10 perfect movies are versus my top 10 perfect
So you know
movies.
the filmy rules. I don't know the filmy rules. I just know what I like.
Well, so here's the what makes a perfect movie is that it has a little bit of every genre, right?
Mhm.
So action, drama, comedy. I think those are really the 3 staples because you can't expect a movie to have sci-fi to everything, right? So action, comedy, and
It was
drama
all a dream.
and romance. Action, comedy,
Okay.
drama, and romance.
You
Okay?
got to touch on each one.
And the exposition exists for all 4.
Okay.
Right? So like Love Actually, you have 7 or 8 storylines that are interwoven. Some are funnier than others.
Yeah.
The British guy that goes to Wisconsin
Yeah.
or Michigan or wherever he
Right,
went.
right. Is-
Right. So that's
Yeah,
what makes a
right.
perfect movie. Is you have all 4 of those and they work as an
Okay.
individual story. I'm trying to think what else. What's the one movie that I keep bringing up as a perfect movie, Chris? You remember? We just talked about it last episode.
We did?
Yeah, Blaha should remember if he's in the chat still.
He should
I
be.
thought we talked about the first Lord of the Rings movie being a potential.
I don't know. I'd
Was
have
it
to
the first
rewatch
one?
it. I haven't seen it in so long.
It is has been voted whatever like influentially or however that looks.
Blaha, are you still in chat there? What was the movie that we just talked about that we said was a perfect movie that I've said numerous times? Bill Paxton is dead. Bill Pullman is alive. $38.5 million worth of coffee to local churches.
Uh-oh.
He's talking about the money laundering. I mean,
That's what the IRS said.
not money laundering. No, never.
DJ Catfish is a Star Trek person. That tracks with not watching Star Wars. I don't remember what it was, but there's definitely a nice spam bot.
Yeah, right.
The number 10 movie on this list, just so everyone knows they should go watch Holiday. You like this
Okay.
movie too.
No, I don't
We're
like
done
this movie,
talking. No
but
more
I've seen it
talking.
like 4 times. Let's talk about this.
No.
Holiday. So the only thing that is redeeming about this movie is that Emma Roberts is in it.
Yes, she's adorable.
That is the only thing that's redeeming about this movie. And because of your obsession, this is the perfect ending to this conversation. Because of your and your daughter's obsession with Christmas, Netflix, Hallmark style movies, I have been forced to watch this movie numerous times over the last 3
It's
years.
hilarious.
It is not a great movie.
But it's funny.
Emma Roberts, not a great actress in these movies. She sells so much in these movies because she doesn't have to do anything, right? Like she's a good actress. I've seen her in good things. She did a movie with Dave Franco that I thought was exceptional. This movie is not one of those movies.
I know.
This is why you have a problem
But I
because
do like it.
you enjoy it. It's terrible cinema.
Oh, I mean, this is like a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, it's like reading a smutty book on an airplane.
Yeah, but that's legit now. You can just do
That's
it.
so weird. So, anyways, thank you so much for filling in for our ill-fallen member. We appreciate you being here.
Oh, should I
know it
roll
was
music?
Very last minute. You can prep it.
I'm
We have
keeping
some
his seat
plans
warm.
for a future episode with you. Also,
Mhm.
there's going to be an episode with you and Blaha to
There.
discuss the Lord of the Rings stuff because I have next to no interest in that shit, but you guys love it. So
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
maybe I should be here for that.
I own them all.
conversation. And then after the Formula One season, you and I are going to watch the Rings of Power season 1 and season 2.
Yes.
And we'll have you back to talk about that. And Blaha will be here for that because he loves that
'Cause
shit.
he's
All right. Well, thank you very much. Whatever. You've
Let's-
seen me naked. We don't need to shake
We're going
hands.
home together.
Going back to
What?
I mean, we drove in the same car. I don't mean we live in the same place.
There's too many cats. Too much pussy in that house. So,
You
all
win.
right. Well, you don't get supposition from Michael Blaha this evening, so there will be no Tony walks away and Blaha talks about random shit. But
Aw.
I mean,
I
I could
know.
be tempted.
I can do it. You have something to talk about? But thank you for being here. We know it's a little later than normal. Appreciate you coming in, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
Oh, he said, who's doing the outro?
Oh.
It has to happen.
Well, you can.
What
do
is
No,
the
that's what he
outro?
said. His exact words. He said it has to happen.
Well, someone
outro.
decided not to be here tonight. so-
Oh. Ooh. I can read it. Type something and I'll read it.
All right, bye guys. This is where we take our
Goodbye,
headphones
I am
off and
speaking
walk
on
away,
behalf
and then Chris keeps
Of
talking.
Michael.
Did you say the Philippines?
Renew the Acolyte. Season 2. Is that it? Should I just keep repeating it? Renew the Acolyte. Season 2. It's all caps. Don't let bigots ruin Star Wars. It's not a very good mic voice that I'm doing. I do have to say, Mom, I'll be home, blah, 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 right? Something like that. I'll text you when I get home, Mom. I'm going to say it all again. Renew the Acolyte. Season 2. Don't let bigots ruin Star Wars. The country is burning down. What else do we have? I should probably have the camera on me instead of nothing. Hey! Let Star Wars be cool. The end is now. Bye.